Today we're making Cane's chicken tenders, but 10 times better. If you want the recipes for the Texas toast and the cane sauce, they're already up on my page. But for the chicken, you want to marinate it in buttermilk, 1 egg, and 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. For at least 1 to 2 hours, overnight is preferred. Now in a separate bowl, you want to add 1.5 cups of flour, a tablespoon of cornstarch, and a teaspoon of baking soda, a tablespoon of onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, salt, and paprika, and 1 cup of Italian breadcrumbs. We're going to take our chicken from our marinade and dip it into our flour, dip it into our buttermilk mixture, and then into our flour again. Let them rest on a rack for 10 minutes. Fry on medium heat for about 6 to 10 minutes or until fully cooked, and you're ready to enjoy. I obviously served it with my cane sauce, the homemade Texas toast, and some fries, and the written recipes will be on my Instagram throughout the week.
We've been seeing these tacos everywhere, so today I'm going to show you guys how to make them. You're going to start out with some good cuts of beef. I'm using beef chuck, aka the shoulder, seasoned with salt and pepper, and give them a sear for about 30 seconds aside just to add a little bit of color, which is going to add flavor for later. Take them out, chop up an onion, 5 cloves of garlic, go in with those, the same pot. You're going to go in with equal parts of beef stock and water, bring those to a simmer. Go in with some dried chili peppers. I use 2 here. Go in with some wet chipotle peppers as well. This is going to add a delicious smoky flavor. And then you're going to go in with some crushed tomatoes. Season with bay leaves, salt, cumin, Mexican oregano, and some lime juice. Throw all your meat back in there. And an hour later, you're going to take all the other solids out. We're talking the peppers, the onions, the garlic. Throw them all into a blender. Blend them up into a nice puree. Pour that back into the pot, and you're gonna have to let that simmer for about 3 hours. In 3 hours, I'll have the final product. Come back.
The best way to roast your potatoes. Use small potatoes and boil until fork tender. Drain off the water and put them in a big bowl. We're gonna start with a generous amount of olive oil. You're gonna do salt, pepper. We're gonna go onion powder, garlic powder, crushed red pepper, fresh basil, fresh thyme. Get that all mixed together and dump it out on a lined baking sheet. Spread them out, give them a little room on every side, and then use a glass to smash them about a 1/2 inch thick. And then throw them in a 425-degree oven for about 30 minutes, but you're gonna wanna flip them halfway through. And you're gonna end up with a soft interior, crispy exterior, the best roasted potatoes you've ever had.
I promise you, if you make this mac and cheese on Thanksgiving, you're going to wow everybody at the dinner table. So today I'll be showing you guys how to make the best homemade mac and cheese. You're going to begin by adding 4.5 cups of heavy cream and 4 ounces of cream cheese to a saucepan, and let that come to a simmer on stovetop. We're using penne pasta instead of elbow macaroni. The ridges on penne allow the sauce to cling on better, which results in more flavor in each bite. But here I'm sauteing 1 small onion and about 6 cloves of garlic minced, and 1 stick of melted butter. I added about 2 tablespoons of flour and let that cook for a little. Then I added in our heavy cream mixture. Then for our cheese I added shredded cheddar, pepper jack, as well as freshly grated white cheddar. Seasoning with a teaspoon of garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, and salt. Mix everything together well, then add in your pasta. I ended up adding in a little bit of turmeric just to give our pasta a nice color. Then you want to add half of your pasta into your baking dish. Layer on some of our cheese, and add on the rest of our pasta, more cheese, finishing off with Italian breadcrumbs. Baked at 350 for about 25 minutes, and we're done. I'll be posting another mac and cheese recipe next week, so make sure you stay tuned for that.
I've got another way to make pancakes.
2 eggs.
Crack into a bowl. Separate yolks into another bowl.
Right, so with these, a tablespoon of milk,
Whiskey business, 1 teaspoon of vanilla.
1/4 cup of cake flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt,
Sift into your yolks. Whiskey business.
egg whites. Blend till frothy.
Then 2.5 tablespoons of sugar gradually.
Keep on putting that up till stiff peaks. Add this to this.
Bites in and fold.
Add the rest and fold together
Into a piping bag.
non-stick pan.
Spray oil.
Heat medium-low. Make 2 evenly sized pancakes with half your mixture. Teaspoon of water. Lid. Steam for 5 minutes. Add the other half of your mixture. 3 more minutes. Flip. Flip. 3 more minutes. Onto a plate. Whipped cream, some butter, powdered sugar, and of course, sheesh.
That's a souffle pancake.
Ooh, what is this? Better than IHOP.
Oh my fucking God.
I need a super simple dinner after writing papers all day, so I'm gonna make Instant Pot creamy garlic chicken pasta. Get your Instant Pot and 3 chicken breasts. Yes, they're still frozen, but thank God for the Instant Pot. Season the chicken with some paprika, garlic powder, some onion powder, a little bit of Italian seasoning, and of course salt and pepper. Measure with your heart. Add 3.5 cups of low sodium chicken stock. Add half a white onion chopped, Add about 1 pound of elbow pasta and add a good amount of minced garlic. Measure that with your heart. Make sure everything is submerged. If it's not, add a little bit more chicken stock till it is. Put the lid on, make sure it's on sealing. Cook for manual high pressure for 10 minutes. Release pressure when done. Take out the chicken and start shredding. Add it back in. Add 3/4 of a cup of fat-free half and half and some Parmesan cheese. Mix it all together.
Today we're making Olive Garden's breadsticks, but 10 times better. And if you want the recipe for the chicken gnocchi soup, it's in my last video. But to get started, you want 1 cup of warm water. You're gonna add 2 teaspoons of yeast, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and mix and set aside. In your mixer bowl attachment, you're gonna add 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons salt, and 3 tablespoons olive oil. After you let your yeast mixture sit for 10 minutes, go ahead and add it in last. You want to knead your dough for 10 minutes, add it to an oiled bowl, and let it rest for 1 hour. 1 hour later, you want to dust your countertop with some flour. Pat your dough ball down gently, and you want to cut out 10 breadsticks. You're basically going to cut them into long strips and then cut the long strips in half. And you want to roll them out very gently, tapering the ends. The less you touch them, the better they're going to come out. You're going to cover with a towel and let them rest for another 15 minutes. Add them to an oiled baking sheet, and we're going to brush on some egg wash. For my egg wash, I only used 1 egg and 2 tablespoons of water. Bake at 365 for 10 minutes. Brushing on 5 tablespoons of melted butter, a tablespoon of garlic powder, and dry parsley, and we're done.
Can I get a McFlurry, please?
My flurry not working for my flurry.
This always happens. I told y'all there's food at home. Let's make an Oreo McFlurry. Crush up your Oreos, but leave a little bit in the blender because unlike McDonald's, we're going to mix it up. Vanilla ice cream, a little bit of heavy cream or milk, and blend it up. If you want it extra thick, make sure the ice cream is extra frozen. The little crumbly Oreos is the best part, don't lie. Share and follow for more recipes and ideas.
Mom challenged me to make a meal out of 4 random ingredients. I chose the word pastry, so I got puff pastry. And then I had to pick a cereal, so I chose the best cereal out there. I also had to pick a candy, so I chose white chocolate. My mom made me put back one of them. And then I chose butter, and I was like, what do I do with this? So now I'm making a meal out of butter, puff pastry, white chocolate, and Fruity Pebbles. How on earth do I go about this? I started by taking the frozen puff pastry out of the box and cutting both sheets down the center. Once they had thawed, I rolled them out, and I spread softened butter all over them. Next, I rolled the buttered puff pastry into tight logs. I cut those rolled logs into fourths, and then I rolled it like a cinnamon roll and put it in a muffin pan. I put my biscuits in the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. I poured out a cup of Fruity Pebbles, and I began to melt my white chocolate. Once my biscuits had cooled, I dipped them in white chocolate and then in the Fruity Pebbles to make this cute dessert.
Bacon wrapped stuffed jalapenos? Check me out. This thing's cool. Just pop it in, check it out, down, around, and then you pull that bad boy out like that. Hollowed out perfectly. Don't even know where to tell you to get one. Get us a clean cut on the top. Let's fill it up. Look how cute they are. Heat up your cheese. 1 block of cream cheese. Dano's original. Pop, pop, pop that trigger finger. Get you some. Get you some. Some cheddar cheese. Start mixing. Add a little more. For those of y'all that think I'm using way too much seasoning, well, you don't know till you dano. Put cheese in a bag, push down to the end, like so. Cut off the tip. Now we're gonna fill them up. Just filling them up. Now we're just wrapping in bacon. Top them with some spicy, and we're gonna let them cook. Let them smoke right next to our chicken. Oh yeah, look at that.
Okay, look, I got Pizza the Hut before. I'll do it again.
1 cup of water. 1.5 teaspoons of ANC yeast.
A little mixy.
Sit for 5 minutes. 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. 2 teaspoons of sugar. 1.25 teaspoon of fine sea salt.
Whiskey business. Add your yeasty water and mix. Till you get a rough dough. Have it to a work surface. Keep kneading.
Until nice and smooth.
Medium bowl. Little drizzle of olive oil. Shape your dough into a ball. Into your bowl. Plastic wrap lightly oiled. Cover.
Rise at room temperature 1 to 2 hours. Italian tomatoes.
Tomato. 2 cloves of garlic. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Salt to taste. Pinch of sugar. Blend.
Until nice and smooth.
Pizza stone.
Into the oven. 500 Fahrenheit.
45 minutes. Baking sheet. Dust generously with flour. Flour. Dump out your dough. Divide. 2 even pieces. And shape into a ball. Onto your sheet. Cover and rest. 30 minutes. Pizza peel with flour. Piece of dough. Flour on the top. Punch around the perimeter. Over the knuckles. Turn, stretch, turn, stretch. Little pizza sauce. Spread it out. Cheese. Pepperoni. Into the oven on the 5 minutes.
Broil 2 minutes. Garlic oil on the crusty.
Ooh-wee.
You asked for ratatouille, and best believe I'm gonna deliver. There is absolutely no debate that the ratatouille from the movie looked unbelievably good, and I'm gonna try and do that justice today. We start off by slicing 1 to 2 zucchinis, yellow squashes, tomatoes, eggplants, and then get a pan super hot, add olive oil, and then 1 red bell pepper and 1 yellow bell pepper. I picked some fresh basil from the garden and then added it to the peppers along with a clove of garlic and 28 ounces of crushed tomatoes. Next, give it a sprinkle of some salt and pepper and then give it a little stir. And then we artfully arrange all of our veggies. I started out with a stack of the 4 and then swirled it around until I made it to the end and seasoned it up with some salt and pepper. The crowning glory that goes on top of this ratatouille is the herb mixture. It's a little bit of thyme, parsley, basil, garlic, and some salt and pepper. To this we add about 4 tablespoons of olive oil and then spoon it over the ratatouille. Cover with foil and then bake at 375 degrees for about 40 minutes. Take the foil off and then bake for 20 to 30 minutes more until you have this gorgeous color on top. And that's it, ratatouille fit for the critic Anton Ego himself. Today we're making pretzel bites as well as homemade cheese sauce. The dough is only 4 ingredients, so they're super easy to make and extremely delicious. You want to start by adding 1 1/4 cups of warm water, 1 tablespoon yeast, 1/4 cup of brown sugar mixed and set aside. Here I'm adding 3 1/2 cups of flour. After letting your yeast mixture sit for 10 minutes, add it in. Knead your dough for 10 minutes. Add your dough to an oiled bowl, cover and let it rest for 20 minutes. For your cheese sauce, you're going to start with 6 tablespoons of flour and butter. Cook on medium heat until it cooks into a nice golden color. Now you want to add in everything that I'm displaying on the screen for you guys. Mix, and this is how it should look. After 20 minutes, uncover your dough. Add to a floured surface and pat down gently. We're going to cut it into strips and then into bite-sized pieces. Let them rest for another 5 minutes, and then we're going to boil in a pot of water and 1/4 cup of baking soda. You only want to boil them for 30 seconds on each side. Add to a prepared baking sheet, top with kosher salt, and you want to bake at 400 for 8 minutes. Brush with butter, serve with your cheese sauce, and you're done.
Picture this, okay? You're 11 years old, you walk into the mall with your parents. Mommy, what's that smell? It smells so good. What's it called? Ah, my son, that's the smell of cinnamon rolls. They're one of the most delicious desserts to ever exist.
Really? Can we try one?
No, we have fish and rice at home. Huh? What does that have to do with cinnamon rolls? Bro, that was the story of my life. Anyways, today we're making cinnamon rolls. Make your dough and let it rest in a big bowl so that it could double in size. Ah, okay, take it out and roll it into a big rectangle. And yeah, the only thing you need now is unsalted butter and a combination of cinnamon and brown sugar. Roll your dough up so that it can be nice and chunky. And we're gonna cut it into pieces with floss. Using floss allows you to get cleaner cuts without smushing the rolls. Okay, thinking outside the box. Now, I believe I baked it for 22 minutes. And to be honest, they came out extremely ugly. Like, there's no hiding that. But that's okay because we're gonna cover it with icing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. By the way, guys, I was thinking, like, is this a pastry or a dessert?
Today we're making the Cheddar Bay biscuits from Red Lobster, but 10 times better. They're super simple to make and taste incredible. So to begin, you want to add 2 cups of flour to a bowl, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 2 teaspoons baking powder, a half a teaspoon of salt as well as onion powder, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. You want to whisk all of your dry ingredients together. Now here I have 1 stick of cold butter. You want to knead your flour and butter together with your hands. You can use a stand mixer if you'd like, but I know a lot of you guys don't have one, so I'm trying to be mindful of that. You want it to resemble a sand-like texture. Then you want to add in 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, a handful of parsley, as well as 1 cup of buttermilk. You can also use regular milk if you'd like. Mix until everything is well combined, then grab a baking sheet, spray with oil, then you want to plop on a large spoonful onto your tray. You don't want them to be perfectly round, so don't worry about that. And you want to bake at 400 for 16 to 18 minutes. Finish them off by brushing on my butter mixture, and you're ready to enjoy. Full written recipe will be on my Instagram tomorrow.
Today we make meatball parmesan sliders better than any restaurant you've been to. You'll start out with some butter or brioche rolls and cut those in half. Spread some ricotta on the bottom layer of the bread. Then we're going to cover in meatballs, and if you'd like to save some time, you can use store-bought or you can make it from scratch. You can cook the meatballs in the marinara or just pour it on top along with some fresh basil, some grated parmesan, and then add your cheese. The next time I make this, I'm going to use some shredded mozzarella and provolone. Now for the best part, we're going to make our garlic and herb butter and spread that all over the top of the buns. Our last step is to pop it in the oven to bake at 350 Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. Sprinkle some more parm on top and enjoy!
Hash browns are for wimps. You can do better. We're making a potato galette. It's French. Peel 1 large potato. Cheesecloth. Grate. Twist and wring. Wring out the excess moisture. Heat 8-inch skillet, medium-low heat. Add 2 to 3 tablespoons canola oil, peanut oil, or leftover bacon fat. Add half of the potato. Freshly grated Parmigiano Reggiano. Remaining potato on top. Salt, Cook 5 to 6 minutes until golden on the bottom. Turn up the heat to medium to make sure it's nice and golden. 1 to 2 minutes. See how it's nicely golden around the edges? It's time to flip. Flip. Add a little more oil so it doesn't burn. Cook medium-low heat 5 to 6 more minutes. Salt, pepper, parsley, Parmigiano Reggiano, dill. Oh yeah.
Okay, fine, you want to make churros, no problem, but understand these are dangerous.
Small pan, 5 tablespoons butter in, 1 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of sugar. Heat on high heat.
Make sure it's melted and bring to a boil. Turn off the heat. 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 teaspoon fine sea salt. 1 cup all-purpose flour. Stir.
Till thick with 3 C's. Now let this cool
For 8 to 10 minutes, brother. 3 eggs, 1 at a time. Egg. Mix. Egg. Had to switch to a whisk. Egg. Mix. An egg yolk. Mix 1 more time.
Till nice and smooth.
Transfer to a piping bag with a star tip. Heavy bottom pot. Fry oil.
Filled a little over halfway.
It's cinnamon sugar, not that hard. 3/4 cup of sugar. 1.5 teaspoons of, well, cinnamon. Mix together.
Heat to 375.
Pipe 5 to 6 inch pieces. Snip.
It's average churro size, okay?
Repeat.
Fry 4 to 5 minutes. Till golden brown and crispy.
Remove from the oil. Add the cinnamon sugar. Toss while still hot. Repeat with the rest.
Now these are some good looking churros, but now we're talking. Look at